Okay, here we go. Okay, gang, so hello, this is our Healthy Huddle for the evening. I'm Dean Lee, and I'm co-hosting with Stephanie Tyler, is that right? And, Okay, great. And Steph is, of course, Craig's mom, and she's here to keep me in line, make sure that I don't get too wild. And we're going to go over Chapter 5. Stephanie and I had a great talk this afternoon. It's been great just getting to know her a little bit. We see each other on camera and haven't talked much. And I'm now getting all of her healthy recipes. So I'm like really excited, so, and I told her about my love of cauliflower, my love of spaghetti squash, since I started my health journey. And so feed me, Steph. Feed me all those neat recipes. So
I'll be sure and send you the link to those two videos also.
You betcha. You betcha. So guys, today we're going to do something a little different in our conversation. Steph and I were just kind of talking about a little bit about our story, because this Chapter 5 is really a great chapter to really look at and begin to look at where you are in your health journey, and to begin to measure yourself and really look at the reality of where you are. And the neat thing about that is that you can have a starting point, and it gives you a place. So when you come back, however many months or weeks, and take a look at where you are later, you're going to be amazed at the transformation in your life. And it's something that I was. And Steph, if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump into just a little bit of my story of where, and then I'll let you run with it on this story. But for me, I always kind of thought I was healthy. In fact, I have a I have a driver's license, interim driver's license pictures. I'm going to just hold them up. There's me. And I'm looking at these, and one was from 2009 on the issue date. And it says I was 220 pounds, but the reality is I was probably more like 223 or 224. And the other one is...
I thought we were the only ones who lied on those.
No. I tried to be 6'4", but I'm not. So I don't know why that just... Yeah, go figure. And then, of course, this is my more recent. And I just got my motorcycle endorsement. You can't see it, but it's basically I'm at about 199, which is I'm just right at my my healthy BMI. But also, when I look at this picture, I can look at my neck, and I think I've talked about this before in my health journey. Is where when I started this journey, I had a little bit of a more hanging in my neck here. I had a broader neck, and I actually changed neck sizes, and I actually had to get special shirts for my size because my neck was larger than it is today. It was just one of the things that I began to notice. But I really, the point here was that I thought I was a healthy cyclist, so to speak, and this would happen every winter. I'd get up to 220 something odd pounds, and my goal was just to get down to 210, and I would have to put in 3,000 miles to make that happen. And that was my thought of what healthy was all about. But in the meantime, I had high blood pressure, and I have to medicate for it, at least for now. And it wasn't coming down. In fact, it was actually trending up. Hard to believe. I even wound up in the hospital a couple of times because of chest pains. And they're looking at my numbers, and they're going, "Wow, Dean, you've got a great resting heart rate." But I'm sorry, I'm gonna do a quick mute here, guys. I got some background noise, so I'm gonna just sorry. I apologize for allowing that. Keep me honest, stuff. So to go back, the point was that here I thought I was healthy. I realized I wasn't. My blood pressure was high, and it wasn't coming down. And when I started my journey with Craig, it was something where I invited my wife to come join me. And I was hoping to lose some weight because I was getting really, really slow on that bicycle. So all of the guys and gals that I hung out with were getting stronger, and I was actually getting weaker. And it wasn't just, it was kind of a mental fatigue and a physical fatigue. So the great news is today I'm feeling a lot better, and my numbers are pretty awesome. My doctor is still, he doesn't measure me anymore on my cholesterol, which is really pretty neat. I was always over 200, 205, 208, and I'm below. And last time I went in, he goes, I'm not even going to bother measuring it now. So it goes, which is great. So that was kind of my story. But I kind of look back at that and I think to myself, wow, I thought I was a healthy guy. I was doing a healthy thing, but I'm not. And now I'm in this community of part of my community of cyclists. And now I see, with eyes open, and I see a lot of very unhealthy people. They're doing a healthy thing, and it's great, and more power to them, and more power to anybody who's trying to exercise and do healthy things. But there's more to health than just taking a walk. So it's a good place to start. But I'm just very thankful that today, because of what I've done through Take Shape for Life, that I'm in a much healthier place than I was a year and a half, 2 years ago. So Steph, go ahead and share your story is a little different than mine. I'm going to unmute you here.
I, like Dean, felt like I was fairly healthy. I went to the doctor and all my reports were okay. I mean, they weren't bad. I wasn't in danger of a heart attack. My cholesterol was in a range where it was safe. And, at my age, I felt, it doesn't really matter that I'm a little heavier than I want to be and would like to be, because I didn't know what to do. So I was just okay. Well, when Craig introduced me to the program, because as he had known, I had tried anything and everything and had given up and just said, it doesn't matter at this time in my life that I'm not as thin as I'd like to be. Because I think a lot of time as we get older, we think being thin is for the younger, it doesn't matter at this time in our life. Anyway, needless to say, I did care and it did matter. And one of the things that I never experienced with this program was excess energy when you get into fat burn, because I already had too much energy. I've always had a ton of energy. People always say they would like to bottle my energy. So I didn't experience the extra energy in fat burn, but oh my goodness, after 6 years of keeping my weight off, I have as much or more energy now than I did when I was 50. And and I'm not getting younger. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So, eating healthy. And of course, after I lost all my weight, I lost 60 pounds in 4 months. And I have kept it off for 6 years. When I went to the doctor the year after I had actually lost my weight, and he redid all my blood work, it was like amazing, because even though it wasn't bad before, he just kept looking at me and going, I don't have anybody as healthy as you. And I'd go, you gotta be kidding. I mean, this is ridiculous. You've got to have other people that are healthy. And the more I thought about it and the more I analyzed it, was a lot of times when we get to a certain age, we don't take as good a care of ourselves. And so I think that's what he was more referring to, is a lot of his patients were older. And as we get older, we kind of don't know what to do, give up hope, don't keep trying, and so I think he was more referring to the fact that at my age, for all my numbers to be where they were was, unbelievable. I mean, even though I'm sure there are other people that have good numbers, because there are a lot of people that are older that are healthy, that have learned the habits. But anyway, needless to say, it's been an amazing, amazing, amazing journey. And helping others learn the habits of health is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life.
That's neat. Thanks, Steph.
You bet.
So, gang, we're going to go ahead and review chapter 5, and just curious, has everyone taken the time to evaluate yourself in a manner that chapter 5 looks at your health, besides just weight's one aspect, which obviously is speaks to certain things, but I'm just curious, has everyone, maybe just throw up your hand, has everyone gotten kind of the medical perspective from their doctor on what your real numbers look like? Yeah. Most of you, or several of you, definitely have done that. I would not have said this a year ago, but I would really recommend, if you haven't, that you consider it, doing some blood work just to find out where where your body's at. And I think it's really key. Like in this chapter, I think Dr. Ray really hit the nail on the head, like he typically does. I just really love the comment that he made in page 37. It's that one sentence in kind of the first, second paragraph. Understanding your health status is as it is right now is an important part of building your personal health plan. I came from a company that we used to walk around and say, if you can't measure it, you can't fix it. And there's just a lot of truth to that. It may not apply for absolutely everything, but there's a lot of truth to that. If you can't measure where you're at in different ways, be it wellness or other things, it's pretty hard to know how to go tackle the problem, right? And sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I had a hard time being honest with myself. I'd even kind of debate with Craig on some things, but I gave up on that. He won. So, but it's just important to do. So I'd suggest it, if you haven't, to think about it. It just gives you another perspective. You get a little bit more detail on some things. And then 6 months from, where you're at, if you're, even if you're still on plan, just, consider another checkup just to see how you're progressing. Because I can tell you'll be amazed as your body starts to transform, how quickly the body starts to adjust. And then the neat thing too is that once those adjustments are made, then the body starts to heal, and that's where where a lot of us are now, is that we're kind of in that healthy space maybe, and hoping to get even more healthy, right? So just some thoughts, and hopefully if it resonates with you, great. That's wonderful. Anyone else on the chapter 5 have any just thoughts of what they thought overall, and just any comments or?
Dean,
Go ahead, Mindy.
I'm having my blood work done in the morning, and I haven't been to the doctor for, a year. I go in for my yearly physical, and since I've lost my 60 pounds in the past 8 months, kind of warned my doctor and let her know, that you might not recognize me when you see me. And I said, I have to brag a little bit. And so when I told her, she said, Linda, you brag all you want. And so she's anxious. I get to share with my doctor, Take Shape for Life, but even more exciting numbers. I was borderline diabetic. My cholesterol was through the roof. Didn't need medication, but I'm just really anxious to see what the numbers are now. So I'll let y'all know.
That's I was going to say. I hope we're here next week on. I'm really curious to see what your doctor said.
Yeah.
And the reaction. That's exciting, Linda. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really awesome. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, Dean, when I first came across this, I felt like I think all of Dr. Anderson's book just gave me hope. I was significantly overweight. I was at 262, and really had done everything I could to try to be healthy. And this chapter, along with others, just gave me I liked that it was not just based on weight. I was doing everything I knew to do to be healthy, but I couldn't lose the weight. And so interestingly, my sister, she has a thyroid issue. We both have PCOS, which makes it really hard to lose weight, very easy to gain weight. But I always joke because we looked like a before and after picture because she was very thin because she had a thyroid issue on top of it. And I was always the overweight one, which was really frustrating because I worked hard at not being overweight. So this chapter, interestingly, we both took this quiz and she scored in the sick range. And I scored in the unhealthy range, but I knew that I would score in the unhealthy range because of my weight. But it was affirming to me to see that many of the choices I was making was benefiting me in my health. And thank God that I found this program so that I could actually also get the weight off in addition. But it just affirmed that I actually did have a lot of healthy habits in place. So that was encouraging to me.
Thanks, Kim. That's really cool. Great info. Great feedback. And I'm sorry, I'm acronyms. Okay, I lived with acronyms for 23 years. But what's PCOS?
Yeah, it's a medical condition. It stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's Craig's talked about it from time to time. It's something that men don't really need to know about.
Okay.
But it's but for those women that, if you hear somebody talking about it, it can be very in some ways a devastating diagnosis just because there's just not a lot of help, and it often people find out about it when they're trying to have children. It makes it really hard to have children. Okay. And but it kind of also is very closely related to diabetes, and it often leads to diabetes. And the statistics for people with PCOS, most people do not find a solution for weight.
And you do need to know about it if you're a man, if you're a health coach.
Well, yes, that's true.
If you have an undiagnosed female who's struggling with her health and her weight, then that's a really good, that's something that you could bring up, check with your doctor. There are some things that maybe they just don't know. And so, but there is help. And before Take Shape for Life, and Kim has spoke to this, there was no hope for women with PCOS. So.
Yeah. Both Mary and I have that. We've met a lot of other health coaches that have it and have had success, and it's a privilege to be working with a lot of people that have it and to be able to provide that hope. And I know Mary and I both know the joy of working with people with PCOS, clients that have actually gotten pregnant through, I don't think we can say that it's because of this program. I'm sure we can't legally say that, but weight does play a factor in fertility. And so it's awesome to be able to provide that hope to people.
It does cause your body to become, I guess, regular. Mm-hmm. And that's aids in, having babies. And so, when you have a client, and we're going to make you squirm tonight, when you have a client that says, I just want to thank you, I've had 2 months of periods because of you. It's like, well, wait, it's not because of me, but I'm glad you're having periods on time. So, and not a random occurrence, which is one of the side effects of PCOS, is you never know when it's going to show up. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is great, guys.
I'm sure you're feeling great that you asked that question, right, Dean?
No,
one more shade of red, we can do it.
No, seriously, that's good. Okay, I owe you guys. So
Craig's going to ask him to host again, and he's going to be like, no way.
no, actually, I have 3 daughters, and and I try not to say this to them, but like, bring the grandchildren, just bring it on. You know, that's my life. I love it, right? I have 3 grandkids now, and I just keep them coming. Just go procreate, whatever, you know. So I'm okay with that. So, but it's neat to know that. So I have. It's just neat to kind of know that and speak to it, because when we talk about health with my daughters, a couple of them are kind of athlete types. It's just one of those conversations that I can tell when they're talking to their friends that, hey, I can share with them, hey, by the way, I found this out, and I didn't know about this, but you might, check this out. So no, I'm seriously, I mean, yeah, a little red going on, but I'm totally fine. Thanks so much. You can stop sharing now. So, okay, well, great. That's good stuff, guys. This is awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Anything that stood out for you guys as you're going through each one of these sections from page 38 on? Is there anything, guys, that really stood out or grabbed hold of you that really resonated with you in terms of something perhaps specific in what Dr. A was asking questions about? I know, Ken, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on it. That was just like, I'm glad we recorded this. It was good stuff. Any other thoughts, guys?
I'll just add one more thing. When I originally took it, it came to me as a link from my health coach, and I did it online and just answered the questions. And I think it's really valuable to have the book version, because sometimes, when you do it online, you're like, well, what caused that score? What caused it to go up and what caused it to go down? And the book version is very clear. You see the pluses and the minuses. And so I think in that way, reading the book is a huge benefit to anybody looking at this, like, oh, okay, these are the areas I subtracted numbers. This is what I can do better. And this is where I can focus. So.
Thanks. No, thank you. And I just put the, I did that to Mary. My fault, Mary. I was trying to do the whole group here. Let me try this again. Give me a sec here, guys. I'm just posting the, Steph and I were actually talking about this. I didn't realize this was online, and so I haven't looked at the online version compared to the book version. I'm kind of geeky, kind of like Craig, where's my Garmin? So I appreciate the online view of it, because then I start asking questions. I did not really, but it is neat that there's a simplistic way to show people a place to go online and do a simple quick check. It's kind of like ballpark versus really getting down into the nitty gritty, right? I'm into, in my life, I kind of do those things where where am I in the ballpark? I mean, am I left or right, middle? And then if I need more detail, I'll drill down a little farther. And so I hear you on the book side of it. And then all that.
I'm sorry, I just keep jumping in here. Another thing that stands out to me is how many times have we blamed genetics for our issues? And this is really, I mean, it takes away an excuse, but also at the same time, it gives us power to change things. So that was another aha kind of for me as well, looking at this.
Good point. And I argued genetics for a bit. I mean, my doctor tells me that my blood pressure may be partially genetic. Okay. But I know too that my body is healing, so to speak, in this healthy zone. So a year from now, maybe that won't be the case. And that's my hope. I can't overemphasize what you said, Kim. And I'm sure that there's only 50 more cents in your deposit for talking, but I can't help your comment about it giving you hope when you read through this chapter, and about how not just going over each item and going, oh, that's bad or that's good, but little places of hope about, hey, you can tweak this and tweak this. And one of the great points that Dr. A said to is, wow, okay, so you take this test and maybe you're unhealthy, but, so what do you want to go work on? Which area do you want to go strive to work on? You take baby steps, right? You just start moving forward. And I just love that. And I love the way that the general perspective of Take Shape for Life, when you go to conference, or convention, my little plug for convention, and you begin and you see the heart of when people are talking. It's not about selling Medifast. It's not about making the sale or grabbing people, but really coming alongside and helping them just improve their life. It just really resonates in convention. So if anyone here is kind of on the fence, I'm just saying, from having gone once and planning to go again, regardless of where you are, if you have the opportunity to go, don't hesitate, because it's a eye-opening experience, and you really get to see the heart of Take Shape for Life. So. Okay, guys, where are we at here on the hour? We're 6:32, so it might be a little. Steph, what do you think? You want to start hitting the questions, or did you have any other thoughts here? I'll unmute you. Sorry. I lost you, Steph, in my list. You're down at the bottom. How's that?
We could go over a few questions, or we could have people share their stories, just so everyone kind of gets an idea of where everyone's started and where they're at, and how this journey has helped them.
I tell you what, let's maybe do a combination of both. Let's since you've got 5 questions, I had at least 3, kind of easy. We by the way, guys, we didn't do the game because I didn't figure it out quick enough. So, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get a new host to do the game, okay? So, and then when I went to the website,
we want him to be missed.
That's right. We want to miss the pro. Right. Okay. Good. Sure. Let's go ahead, Steph. Throw out once you go. I've got your questions here. Throw out your first question and see how we all do.
In order to create health, you need to take an active role. Is that true or false?
We could do thumbs up, thumbs down for true.
We could.
Just a thought.
I guess one of the reasons I made that a question is because I thought it had such an impact,
Right.
that if you don't take an active role, if you don't do anything, you're not going to get anywhere. But even if you take an active role by drinking water, if you aren't a water drinker, or eating breakfast if you aren't a breakfast eater, can make a huge, huge, huge difference. It's great if you can do all the, things necessary, but even starting with 1 or 2 will make a difference.
Steph, were you a water drinker when you started the program? Was that a big, okay.
Unlike my son, I'm not an exercise person, and I'm not a water drinker.
Okay.
I really worked at it.
Okay, you worked at it. Okay. I was the exercise person who did not drink enough water. And guess what the side impact of that was?
Ooh.
Funny that I had a lot of cramping, and times when all of a sudden my body would just all of a sudden I get cramps. Gee, I guess I should have had a V8 or something, so I can't be without this. This is like my bottle, no, it's serious. I was not a water drinker at all. And I mean, I drank coffee and, you know, I'd have maybe 32 ounces of water, period. But I was, now I'm 64 plus every day, actually more closer to 100, 84 to 100 a day. And it's made a huge difference for me. So. Okay, I have a true false question here. Except I lost it. Okay, here we go. This is kind of an easy one, guys, but I'm just going to throw it out there. So, eating lots of fruits and vegetables turns off fat storage, satisfies hunger, stabilizes blood sugar, lowers insulin, and quells inflammatory fires. True or false? Everyone's going, true. I hear it. I was actually going to do a trick question, and I was going to like slip one in on you guys, but I wasn't quick enough on the slip. So, you know, that, and the part about that really is pretty neat. The inflammation was something I never understood. And my recovery since Take Shape for Life, when I go out and do a hard effort, you know, anything that's 50 plus miles, it takes me a while to recover. And now my recovery times are a lot less than they were in the past. So I attribute that to one, drinking water, and two, just eating well, and eating well when I'm out there, feeding myself constantly, so that my body's, once it goes through the sugar store or the carbohydrate store, then I'm feeding myself to keep going. Makes a big difference. So, okay, Steph, you're up with your next question there.
Daily choices either create or undermine your health.
Yes to all.
You know, and the things that I wrote down as questions were so impactful to me because I didn't have good daily choices at all. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't drink water. I didn't eat every 3 hours. I had never even heard of the fact that you're supposed to eat every 3 hours till I started this program. And, you know, my husband teases me now because he says I'm eating all the time. And I was gaining weight. The scale just kept going up, 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 up.
Wow.
And of course, I love when Craig does the analogy that you take a person that eats the same exact thing 6 times a day or 3 times a day, and the one that eats it 6 times a day loses weight. And it's so true. I mean, you need to, and then of course the fire where, you know, you have the big roaring fire and you just add kindling slowly, and that's exactly how we need to feed our body. We need to feed it slowly, constantly, to keep it running the way it needs to run. And it's just all the things that I've learned with this program are just, you know, I just, and it breaks my heart when people don't want to open their mind to even listen or realize that, you know, it doesn't take a huge change to make a huge difference in our bodies because they respond so quickly to the healthy habits. But you do have to be ready, and you have to be willing, and you have to want to make changes, or, you know, it won't work. Because, you know, I used to say it was easy because for me it wasn't real hard, but it was also because I really wanted it.
That's a great point, Steph. I think one of the clients that I had who's just basically buying the shakes now, one of the issues that he was not ready to address was just didn't want to drink water. And what do you say, right? I mean, you can only suggest it and make a good recommendation. But the argument was, well, I don't like, pardon me, but he just would say, I don't like going to the bath. getting up and going to the bathroom when I'm working. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, I had to just say, well, I can't tell you how effective things are going to be for you in the process, because it is a real key element in the process. So that was unfortunate. And he's a great guy. I mean, he's still connected with him. It just, who knows, maybe he'll come back and, give it a good shot. So we'll see.
If he's open-minded, you might send him some of the things that come through on the challenge. The Meltdown Challenge has great analogies and suggestions on why water is important. And I mean,
Yeah, I love. No, you're absolutely right, Steph. I've actually.
and of course, you also might
whenever
even
I see them,
get
go
him
ahead.
to join the challenge. I mean, and just say, hey, it's no big deal, but it'll give you a lot of healthy habits, and you might learn a few things that might be helpful.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I am doing those kind of things when those opportunities arise, because you're absolutely right. The challenge is another great tool for just keeping it going forward, or just keeping the momentum going forward. And great to just share. I love some of the things that come up that I actually will photocopy certain things and sayings that I like, and I'll just do a quick clip of it and save it to a folder for reposting at another date. So yeah, I hear you, Steph. That's a great suggestion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was just going to add too, like the water thing. Water was really hard for me. I didn't like the taste of water. And then I was told I needed to start by drinking 130 ounces of water a day to be half of my body weight when I started. But what helped me is, my mom told me from as far back as I can remember, you need to drink water. And I was like, yeah. But when somebody tells you that if you're not getting enough water, your body is recycling water through your organs, it's like, oh, well, maybe I will drink water. And when somebody tells you that, that water is what flushes the fat out of your system, it's like, okay, every time I take a drink of water, I'm picturing this fat leaving my body. Those are the kinds of things that I found motivating when I really didn't want to, but I did want to change my state of my weight for sure. So.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's good. That's really good stuff. Okay, here's a true false for you guys. Today's chaotic schedules leave us with too much stress, too little free time, too much sleep, and not enough fun. True or false? Tick tock, tick tock, tick.
That one must be false, right?
Thanks. Yeah, Mary, good catch. That's a false. Is there? And good catch. See, I got creative. No, it's false, because I don't know about you guys. I keyed in on sleep. I'll just read it again. The correct way, the true way. Today's chaotic schedules leave us with too much stress, too little free time, too little sleep, not too much sleep, and not enough fun. And too little sleep was my world. I was a 5.5, 6 hour guy, go. And my body finally said, enough. And started a personal revolt inside my cells. Now it's, you know what, guys, I have to share with you, what I'm doing now? I started drawing curtains. I used to not do this because I'm really light sensitive. In the winter, I tend not to be quite so happy if I'm not watching myself. And in the spring and summer, I'm just having a good old time. But the moment the sun hits the horizon, guess what happens? My brain turns on. So that's not great. I found myself going back to 6 hours of sleep, and I've gotten used to 7, almost 8 hours of sleep. So I've been drawing my curtains, and for the most part, I'm doing a lot better. I get up a little bit later, but not much. It's harder for me to now. We're in the season where it's harder for me to go to bed because the sun doesn't go down until 9 o'clock. And I'm like, stay away from Alaska. So I'm working on it. So it's an area I'm starting to work on, and something I found really effective for my own health is that's to have the draw the curtains and really get the room dark. It's really helped me a lot. So just a thought there for you guys.
Well, I'd like to chime in on that, Dean. I actually got too much sleep when I was heavier. I mean, I would need 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night, and then I would take at least an hour nap in the afternoon, just because I was so depressed. I had no energy, and that was the way I coped with my weight, is just to try to sleep to avoid it. So there is a point where there's too much sleep. It's not healthy for you also. So now 8 hours of sleep. Very rarely do if I do take a nap, it's a 20-minute power nap, and I'm rejuvenated and ready to go. So I think too much or too little, we've got to find that balance. And I think the goal is, 7 for men. I don't know why they need less, and 8 for women. And so just wanted to throw that in there.
You're on mute, Dean.
Yeah, I didn't hear what he. Oh, now I'm on mute. I was asking, has anybody else ever experienced getting too much sleep that wasn't healthy for them, that the way? I guess I'm the oddball, huh?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing. Thanks so much, Linda. That was awesome. And you're sharing, and I'm excited for you that your life's really transforming so much. It sounds like you're rocking. So that's really awesome. I'm excited for you. Okay, Steph, you're up, girl, so to speak.
By lowering your daily calorie intake 15% below our optimal health recommendations, you can actually put your body into a state of ultra efficiency. Like I said, I kind of came up with these because I just thought they were so impactful. I mean, this whole chapter is so impactful. I mean, of the things that it makes us realize and makes us think about. And like Kim said, doing the test, it also gives you the things that you can work on because you know exactly where you are. It's nice to know where you're at and have a little bit of an idea of where you want to go, and then now have the tools to get there.
None. Throw us another one, Steph. I'm out of questions. I think I reached my limit.
I wanted to actually, when I sent these to Craig, and of course he was going to do his thing and make it into the quiz, and obviously he got busy. But and of course this one, I mean, I just listed reaching a healthy weight goal can, and I wanted to list a couple of things that can happen and then something that was false. And of course I never came up with anything false. I just came up with all the great, wonderful things that reaching a healthy weight can help you live longer, improve the quality of your life, slow down aging, give you more energy, improve your mental outlook, improve work performance, improve your sleep, lower your blood pressure. And it kind of goes on and on. And I think even when you aren't in a real and healthy state when you start, you're still going to get so much healthier that it's just, and like I said, it does slow down the aging because, I feel like my age is going the opposite way, and that's ridiculous, but it's because I don't feel any older than I did when I was 50. And, I tease people all the time and say, I feel like I'm getting younger, but I actually do. And I still have as much or more energy than I had when I was 50. And it feels great. I mean, it just really does.
And Steph, weren't you telling me earlier today that what did you mentioned something that your doctor commented about your health? Am I correct?
Well, like I said, when I went in before I started this program, I usually go to the doctor about every 2 years, and he does blood work, and it was okay. But then after I lost all this weight and he did it, he was unbelievably shocked by the results, because everything had gotten to the point that it was really, really good. I mean, the cholesterol was good, blood pressure was great. The tests they do to test you as to whether you have a chance of a heart attack was like non-existent. And he couldn't believe it. And I wish more doctors would realize that there is help for their patients. Unfortunately, they don't have the time or the tools. And of course, they also know that a lot of people need a lot of tools and take a lot of time, and they don't have time for that either. But and more doctors are, becoming health coaches or teaming up with health coaches because they've seen what it's done to their patients. But and it was funny because even though my doctor saw all the great results and saw what it had done for me, he had this thing about soy. He very much did not like it being so soy-based. And so when I did try to talk to him, he just kind of shut down, even though he knew I was healthier and he knew I was doing great, and he kind of wanted that for a lot of his patients. The fact that our food had soy was a real turnoff for him. And, he was quite a bit older, and he just, it wasn't worth getting into a debate. So I just kept showing him every time I came in that I kept getting healthier.
That's great. Can't argue with numbers, right? Not a lot.
Yes, you can't argue with numbers.
Sherry, may I ask, or anyone else, guys, Debbie, Sherry, Pamela, any thoughts of things that just resonated for you in this chapter, guys? Oh, Sherry, I think you're trying to talk, so let me unmute you. Sorry, go ahead, Sherry.
I'm just new. I'm just getting started. So I'm just absorbing all this from everybody. So I'm just barely 6 weeks, starting my 6th week today. So I'm just a new little baby here. So I'm just kind of absorbing all your guys' energy and kind of sitting back and just watching everything and learning. So I'm just at that stage still, but getting all the new energy and stuff. And I feel like Stephanie, I just get all this bound of energy now, and get up in the morning and just keep zipping through my house and getting all the housework done and going, okay, now what do I do? Now what am I going to do? Wait till it's time to eat again. And it's like waiting for my time, was waiting for the time. And I think that's my only thing, is I get sidetracked sometimes and then I forget to eat. And that's my own biggest thing, is I get the water down, but I don't get the food at the exact 3 hours. So that's my biggest obstacle, is keeping.
Have you set a timer?
That's a good idea.
Set a timer. Set a timer in your house. Set a timer on your phone. Set a timer however you can do it. What I did when I started is I always had a little pad of paper with me. Because I would.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have a pad of paper and I write down each time that I'm supposed to eat, so I know when not to expect it. I write down my daily schedule in the morning, and then so I know what time the next time I'm supposed to eat. But then I go off and start gardening or something, and I forget what time to look at my watch, and then I notice I'm a half hour late, and then I get all flustered, and then it's like backtracking.
Well, try to figure out a way to set a timer somewheres. I mean, even if you have to set a timer that's just for an hour, and then remember.
Well, I think I could use my cell phone. Yeah.
Your cell phone has great timers on them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You bet.
Yeah, that's what I use, Sherry, is I actually use my cell phone at work. And because when I get to work, I used to just like I'm focused, I'm like, don't distract me. So
Yeah.
I had to have something alert me, and I could only go for about 2.5 hours. If I started getting towards that 3 hour, I'd actually start looking for my food.
Yeah.
So, but setting the timer helped me a lot. So
Okay.
that's a great suggestion. Well, excited for you too, Sherry. So thanks
Thank you.
for joining. Yeah, you bet.
And it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Okay, guys, we're almost coming to the top of the hour. It's 6:56. So
Well, one thing that I also read was 10% reduction in weight loss lowers the risk of disease by 50%. And
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So, we just can't impress on people enough how important it is to eat right.
Yes.
And unfortunately, those carbs are in everything.
Yes.
yeah.
They're even in cauliflower, but cauliflower at least is a healthy one.
Yes.
And if you want cauliflower recipes, I only have about 20 of them.
Okay.
You want to wait real quick? No, okay. I embarrassed her. Never mind. She was going to say hi, but she's gone. It's okay. It's all right. That's my granddaughter came in and was hanging out with me for a bit. She's waiting for Grandpa to play dominoes or read a book or something. So we're getting there.
Good for you, Grandpa.
Yeah, I love it. So, okay, great. Steph, did you have any? We're about 3 minutes from wrapping up here. Did you have any other thoughts or comments, or anyone, guys? Feel free if you wanted to sneak in something here real quick. Feel free.
Hey, Dean, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Deb.
Hi. I want to apologize because I was commuting on my way home and I didn't have my books, so I can't
No worries.
be able to really participate. Now I'm kind of home. Odin, can you be quiet for a second? I wanted to the one thing that brought this chapter that jumped out at me is the first paragraph about how saying that information, the valuable information of your current health, something I believe is very important for you to know. That's why I urge you not to skip this step.
Yeah.
In fact, many people told me that this assessment played a pivotal role in helping them understand how their daily choices affected the reality of their health and their lives. And that was just right away, just spoke volumes on what this chapter was gonna be about and how it was gonna help people, because like everybody's been sharing, knowing where you're at is huge because it gives you one of your whys of why you're doing this, is because you see those levels and then you get, when you get it done again, when you get the tests done again and you see the difference, it's that non-scale victory of seeing that. So I just wanted to feel like I should participate a little in here. And
thanks so much. Appreciate your feedback.
So I read the whole chapter. It's just I didn't have my book when I stayed to work late, and so I didn't have my book, but I still wanted to jump on. So thanks.
Thanks for joining. And you know what? One of the neat things about doing this is that you can't be like in the middle of you can be in your car, you can be on the train.
I know, that's what I love about it.
It's really a great thing. And the last thing, guys, I wanted to share with you, just to really give you some encouragement. I just left one of the most, the biggest companies in the world, I left Intel with early retirement. And guess what? Guess what they were pushing before I left was they were looking for health ambassadors, which I became one before I left. But where I was going with this is that if you would have taken the Take Shape for Life, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, you could have almost overlaid the same exact research that Intel was using from, I think, Stanford University on the 6 elements of health with just a little bit of variation. And the way Intel looked at finances, hey, we pay you guys a bunch of money. You know, so well, okay, that's great, but they didn't really kind of hit the concepts. They understood that healthy mind and healthy body is where they were focused, and to help people be resilient, right? Because they know they had people that were healthy, were better workers, and you know, were more resilient to change. When you're in the high tech industry, change is, you know, almost a daily occurrence. Life just keeps moving. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was just to let you guys know that Take Shape for Life isn't the concepts and the pillars that we use. It's not just the marketing funny stuff that comes along. This is research. It's just been really peeled down to the necessities of what it takes to grow and live a healthy life, to move into a healthy lifestyle. So I just wanted to share that because I thought it very significant that I'm looking at these presentations from Intel as I was volunteering as a health ambassador and going, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the same material, it's just a little different, that I use at Take Shape for Life. And so let that be an encouragement, you know, that you're not just doing some geeky marketing thing. So, okay, gang, well, I think we've reached the top hour.
Anna wanted to share one thing about water that has helped her.
Okay, go ahead.
Drinking it through a straw rather than trying to just gulp it down, she said, made a huge difference in her being able to drink more water. And I know that I kind of feel the same way. I'd never really thought about it that much, but if I have a bottle with a straw, I do enjoy the drinking of the water, and I'm able to do more than, you know, tipping it up and gulping it.
That's what I've heard.
That's great. That's great. Well, guys, hey, I just want to thank everyone for joining. And Steph, it was great getting to know you a little bit. You're a crazy.
Yeah, it was great getting to know you too. Had to be crazy to raise him. He was a challenge, I'll tell you.
I bet. Well, guys, you have a great week ahead of you, and blessings to everyone.
And will this be on the recording so that we can? Will it be on Craig's recording thing?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
I recorded to the cloud, so he's got all the info that we beat him up with.
Now he's responsible to get it out there so we can find it.
Yeah, I'm going to let him do his thing. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great. Oh, you bet. See you guys.
You did great.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much.